I know you want certain things, but say to yourself, is it the end of the world if you can't get it right now? Can you get it later? Is there room to do it later? For example, right? Something like, well, I want 4 bedrooms and I want 2 baths. If there's 4 bedrooms, because you need the 4 bedrooms, but there is 1 bath, is there room to make another bathroom, right? Can you turn one of the rooms into a potential bathroom if you don't necessarily need to have, all 4 bedroom? I mean, yeah, all 4 bedrooms, for example. I know you don't want to hear this as a first time home buyer, but someone has to tell you that on your first time home buying journey, you will have to do the C word. That means compromise. I know. We all want the nicest house in the best neighborhood for the best price, the exact way we want it. Unfortunately, that may not be the case for everyone. Now, obviously, if you're watching this, everyone's situation is going to be a little bit different. Some people are going to be in a financial situation where they can get exactly what they want. Okay. Money's no object. In that case, they could probably just build their own house, right? But for a lot of people, the average person, they're having to just essentially look to see what is available. The market's going to always change. And so a lot of times it's not just price, sometimes it's location. But at the end of the day, there's going to have to be a compromise. As the old saying goes, everybody wants something done fast, done right, and done cheap. The only problem is you can't get all three. And usually, if you get two of them, that means you're losing one of them. For example, if you get something done fast and it's done right, it's not going to be cheap, right? If you want it cheap and done right, that means it's more than likely not going to be fast. And you can go ahead and use the no, you get the gist of it, right? So that's the thing, is that when you're going into homeownership, there may have to be a compromise. And it may be the monthly payment. It may be the location. It may be the square footage. It may be something that you want to change inside the house. It may be the outside of the house. It may be the distance from where you need to travel. So a lot of these things play a major role. What I always tell my first time home buyers to do is think about their first time. Not that first time. Okay. This is a G-rated channel. I'm talking about that first time when you were, let's say, for example, the first time you got a car, right? And so how was that first car for you? You obviously don't have that first car anymore. I'm assuming you don't, right? That first job, right? That was the beginning stages of your working life. But assuming you're probably not at that first job, right? The same thing, your first relationship or the first semi-real relationship. We're not talking about the girl you used to talk to in third grade or the boy that kept asking for your number down the street. We're talking about a real relationship, okay? But anyway, those first times in general were more so introductions in life. And that's how it is when you're buying a home. Sometimes the first home is not going to be the dream home. My wife and I, we first bought our first property. I think we loved everything. We loved the price of the property. We got the property that we wanted. I think for us, it wasn't in the ideal neighborhood. Okay. We still own that property to this day. And we, of course, have moved, from that area. But saying that to say that was our compromise, right? So for you, you may have to decide what that compromise is going to be and be willing to compromise, or you have to be realistic. I know sometimes we still get sticker shock just by looking at the prices of these properties, especially, since prices have changed over the last 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, and beyond. But in real estate, prices are always going to be kind of going up. Real estate works like this: it goes up a lot, it comes down a little bit. It goes up a lot, it goes down a little bit, right? And so that's usually the nature of just normal, natural American, home, prices in general, right? And so that's how things are just going to go. So you have to say to yourself, what am I willing to compromise on? Am I being realistic, right? Because sometimes people will say things like, is this all the properties that I get access to? And it's like, well, based on your criteria, right? So if you're really strict on certain things, no, here's the thing. I know you want certain things, but say to yourself, is it the end of the world if you can't get it right now? Can you get it later? Is there room to do it later? For example, right? Something like, well, I want 4 bedrooms and I want 2 baths. If there's 4 bedrooms, because you need the 4 bedrooms, but there is 1 bath, is there room to make another bathroom, right? Can you turn one of the rooms into a potential bathroom if you don't necessarily need to have, all 4 bedroom? I mean, yeah, all 4 bedrooms, for example, right? I know you want that finished basement, but can we use the living room for something else? So again, just saying, you have to decide what that compromise is going to be for you and what's going to make sense for you. And that way you can say to yourself, okay, this is something that I'm willing to deal with. This is something that I want to do. And I really want to be in this area. Now, things that you have to think about, what are some things I can change versus some things I cannot change, right? And so if it's cosmetic, you usually can change most of the cosmetic things, except for adding rooms and things of that sort, depending on what type of square footage you're looking for. And then you may consider adding an addition. You may be considering, hey, I'll buy this house because I love this neighborhood, but I'm gonna tear it down and build it back up. Again, everyone's situation is gonna be a little bit different, but location is gonna matter the most because you can't pick up a house and put it somewhere else. You just have to say, okay, this makes sense. And here's another thing too. Don't be afraid if you feel like you made a mistake. There's been plenty of times where buyers thought it was going to work out a certain way or the neighborhood's going to work out a certain way, and it just didn't. Or sometimes great neighborhoods turn into bad neighborhoods. Sometimes bad neighborhoods turn into good neighborhoods or slightly better neighborhoods. So you got to say to yourself, what things can I change versus what things I am not able to change. All right. And so, of course, if you like this video, you're most definitely going to love the next one, and I'll see you there.